Hello guys, welcome to Knowledge Pond YouTube channel. In this video, I would like to share daily useful English expressions and phrases which are very common across any sort of business world. Mainly I have seen situations like these phrases are very much useful when we communicate with our managers, colleagues, any business meetings and conference calls. This is the second part of daily used business IT English phrases. And first video, I have listed out and I covered top 50 business English expressions and phrases. So we'll go through one by one and with right meaning and situations, the context where these phrases are very much useful. I'm going to cover another top 50 business English expressions and phrases. Let's get started. The first phrase in this phase would be, in this video would be like, go back to the drawing room. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell about the previous attempted status was not up to the mark. So we have to start the plan again from the beginning. The example would be, our client did not agree with our previous plans. So we have to go back to drawing room to make another plan. The next phrase would be early bird catches the worm, meaning this phrase is used to say when a person who gets going early has the best chances of success. The example would be, let's be ready with our planning for the next project bid. Remember, the early bird gets the worm, so we have to go with the right plan to get the bid. The next phrase would be on the other hand, meaning this phrase is used like when we want to give an opposite idea. The example, this project is very interesting. On the other hand, we need to learn new technologies to work within a short uh, period of time. The next phrase would be keep going, meaning this phrase is used to express to say the continue of the current work. The example, if we have encountered many issues in the current state, shall I stop by now or anything? What else? And no, the manager replied back like, no, keep going on. I'll come and meet you sometime to go through. So what happened? What are the current issues? The next phrase would be, would you mind doing? The meaning, this phrase is used to ask or to make a very polite request. The example, would you mind drive today the meeting? I had to go little early to my home with some personal urgency. Just now I received a call from my family. Little personal urgency. I need to leave little early. So is it possible for you to drive today's meeting on behalf of me? The next phrase would be, I am positive. The meaning, this phrase is used to express our strong feeling about the result of something as I am strongly believing that situation. The example, I am positive that we can deliver the project on time since we completed all project requirements. So we tested the project and very clearly. So I'm strong. I'm good to go for this project release this week. The next phrase would be, can I put you on hold? The meaning, this phrase generally used for on telephonic conversation to express the please wait for some time. The example, hello, can you put on a hold moment? I'm getting another call. The next phrase would be, cat is out of the bag. The meaning, this phrase is used to express a secret has been revealed. The example, hey, congratulations, I heard about your on-site opportunity. Now I guess that cat is out of bag. Everyone knows about the secret which you kept for quite a long time. The next phrase would be, what can you bring to the party? The phrase is used to ask what is your contribution, what are the strengths to lead for this situation. Like how can you showcase your technology or talent or potentiality. The example would be, if you want a good hike and promotions, you have to showcase of what you can bring to the party. The next phrase would be, how can I help you? This phrase is used to express assistance or give a hand to help. Example, hey, how can I help you to resolve your project problems? So the next phrase would be in charge of. The meaning, this phrase is used to ask the who is responsible for, supervisor of. The example, the who is the next in charge of this project from next week onwards. The next phrase would be take a chance, meaning this phrase is used to when we take risk that might result in a danger or a failure. The example, sometimes we need to take a chance to get a success in our life. The next phrase would be supposed to. The meaning, this phrase is used like when we talk about things that didn't happen properly. The example would be, I supposed to reach on time to this meeting, but due to the bad traffic jam, I couldn't reach on time. I'm really very sorry for delay from my side. The next phrase would be, take the bull by the horns. The meaning would be, this phrase or expression is used to take a decisive action and not worry about the result. The example, the manager decided to take the bull by the horns and began preparation for the prototype for the next client visit. The next phrase would be, as far as I know. The meaning, this expression is used to when we talk the status based on the information which I have right now. The example would be, as far as I know, as far as my knowledge, we can proceed to release this project on time as per the schedules. The next phrase would be, lay cards on the table. The meaning, this phrase is used like when we talk the perfectly honest. The example, just lay your cards on the table and tell me what you want. The next phrase would be, have you been waiting long? The meaning, this expression is used to ask a polite question to ask someone uh, waiting of waiting for you. The example would be, hey, I'm really very sorry. I was a little busy with project meetings today. I have back-to-back meetings today, so have been waiting for me long time. Um, if it is really, I'm really sorry for that. Kept you wait. The next phrase would be make sure. This phrase is used to confirm something. The example would be, please make sure that need to send a report on time. The next phrase would be end up doing something. The meaning, this phrase is used to say about finally able to achieve. Like the example, hey, this task very complicated. It had given a lot of trouble, and we had to spend a lot of time to fix all issues. But finally, we ended up finishing the project successfully. The next phrase would be on a roll. The meaning, this phrase is used to say about doing well and moving forward. The example, hey, congratulations, I have been promoted as a team lead. You are on a roll. The next phrase would be can't make it. The meaning, this phrase is used to inform to others not able to attend. The example would be that Peter has informed me just now that he couldn't make it today for today's meeting due to his personal urgency from his side. The next phrase would be what's taking so long. The meaning, this phrase is used to ask why it is taking so long. What is getting stuck? What are the showstoppers? The example would be, hey, why didn't you send report it? And what's taking so long? The next phrase would be, could I ask a favor? The meaning, this phrase is used to a polite request or help. The example would be, hey, could I ask a favor? So I need a small help on understanding this task. Can you please explain me in a very detailed way? The next phrase would be make ends meet. The meaning, this phrase is used to attempting to balance incoming. What are the income like money and expenses? The example would be due to sudden job loss, it is becoming more difficult to make both hands meet. The next phrase would be tied up. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell about our availability as busy doing the current work which I can't stop now. The example would be, hey, I'm really very sorry. I may not join the lunch today, so I'm fully tied up with my current tasks. The next phrase would be held up. The meaning, this phrase or expression is used to tell about delay of work. The example, I'm really very sorry I was not able to join the call. I held up in a traffic jam. The next phrase would be ahead of schedule. The meaning, this phrase used to tell about the status of any task as faster than. Like the example, we are ahead of the schedule to release this project next week. The next phrase would be on the schedule. This phrase is used to tell the status of any task as on planned. The example would be we are on the schedule to release this project next week. The next phrase would be behind the schedule. This phrase is used to tell the status of any task as slower than the planned. The example would be we are on the behind of the schedule to release this project next week. The next phrase would be off on the wrong foot. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell the make a bad start, begin with a mistake. The example would be we ended up with many bugs in the first phase of the project release due to the wrong foot. The next phrase would be have you done it? The meaning, this phrase is used to check the status. The example would be have you finished the current task yet? The next phrase would be can I take a rain check? The meaning, this phrase is used to tell the team about the current plan change to another time in the future. Example would be, hey, I'm really very sorry. So we are unable to deliver the project this week. Can we take a rain check? The next phrase would be, do you mind if I join you? The example would be, like the meaning would be, this phrase used to ask a permission. The example would be, hey, I'm leaving for the day. Do you mind if I join you? The next phrase would be, would you mind doing something? The meaning, this phrase is used to ask a polite request. The example would be, hey, we have a project outing this weekend. Would you mind join with us? The next phrase would be pipe dream. The meaning, this phrase used to tell about unrealistic or not possible. The example would be, it's a pipe dream that to think about the success of the project without any issues. The next phrase would be, it doesn't matter. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell something is not important. Example, it doesn't matter, you can now leave for the day. Looks, we don't have any other task to finish from your bucket. The next phrase would be, I didn't mean that. The meaning, this phrase is used like when someone get misunderstanding of our thoughts. The example, hey, I didn't mean that. What I said, we can have another meeting this week. The next phrase would be think it over. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell to somebody of take your own time before decide. The example, I'm not that confident now and it needs some time to think it over. The next phrase would be on the same wavelength, meaning this phrase is used to tell to like a mutual understanding on a particular situation. The example, after new change is been approved. So we are little confident and we are on the same wavelength. The next phrase would be fine with me. This phrase is used to tell to somebody that you are like accepting. Example, I'm fine with you. Now you can take leave next week. Move on. This phrase is used to tell somebody that I'm moving to the next topic. The example would be, hey, I'm moving on the next action item. Do you have any questions on current action item? The next phrase would be, get move on. The meaning would be this phrase used to tell to somebody that we need to go faster. Example, hey guys, we have to move on like current developments to make a release on time. The next phrase would be play hardball. The meaning, this phrase used to tell to deal in a tough manner, like in a tough situation. The example, I had to play hardball when it comes to end of meeting to answer many questions in very short time. The next phrase would be move this out of the way. The meaning, this phrase is used to tell to somebody when something is blocking on the way. The example, could you please move this out of the way so that it gives space to walk people freely. The next phrase would be by the way, meaning this phrase is used to say this to introduce a different topic. The example, shall we go for meeting now? By the way, the manager called me now. The next phrase would be downtime. The meaning, this phrase is used to say period of time when we are unable to perform job tasks. The example would be due to back meetings, so I had a little downtime to catch up on emails. The next phrase would be away on business. The meaning, this phrase is used to say when we are away on the business trips. The example, next week I will be away on business trips. So, so I may not be coming office next week. The next phrase would be there is no point. The meaning this phrase used to tell somebody that there is no like reason to discuss now. The example, hey, let's move on the next action item. There is no point to argue on this action item. The next phrase would be, I see your point. The meaning, this phrase used to tell to somebody that understood your feelings and opinions. The example would be, I see your point. It looks good. So we are open and take up your opinions and your decisions. The last phrase for this video is cold feet. The meaning would be, this phrase used to tell to somebody that a loss of courage. The example would be, due to financial problem, I got cold feet and I decided not to take any kind of risk at this stage. So I'm done with another top 50 business English phrases and expressions in this video. I will cover another top 50 in another video. If you like and useful this information for you, please share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and so that you would get latest videos and updates from this channel. Thank you very much for your time on this video.